You should see what's going on in Kansas City right now. It's ridiculous. You got a white nationalist group saying, reclaim America, reclaim America. Now we all know if black people did the same shit, they would be going crazy right now. There'll be police out there and there's no cops out there. Nobody cares. This is the reason that you can't say shit like Trump said when he had the South American president over here. They're trying to make it like some crazy shit's happening in America. Nothing crazier than usual.
Liberty and austerity that they do fight for the life of our nation! Lord! For the liberty of our people! Liberty!
On Memorial Day weekend, when America is supposed to honor sacrifice of the US military soldiers that died in service, a group of white supremacists hijacked the meaning of patriotism. The members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front staged a surprise march through downtown Kansas City. They wore matching navy t-shirts, khaki pants, white masks, and carried shields upside down, American flags, and even Confederate symbols. This wasn't just a random protest. As you can see, it was carefully choreographed, with participants arriving and living in rented U-Hauls trucks. And after this company has actually responded. But the big question is, how did the police even allow this happen? Why were there no arrests? Because they didn't have a warrant to protest on this day, and no arrests were actually made. It's quite sad, because if this was a group of melanated people in mask protesting, hiding their faces, it would have been a different case. But this is not the case, because these are Caucasian people, so it's okay. They can do whatever they want in the United States of America. They can reclaim what they think it's theirs and what their ancestors actually fought for. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracie D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
Well, forgetting that country for which they fought and died. They fought for a nation that was proud of its heritage, that was unashamed to say that America was built by and for the descendants of the European race, that was unafraid to say that we have a culture deeply steeped in the Anglo-Saxon traditions of our forebears. Did our ancestors storm the forests of the Argonne, the beaches of Normandy, or the cliffs of Okinawa, so that their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren could be despised minorities in their own home, driven from the cities they built, denied the very same rights they were supposedly dying to protect? The greatest tragedy is not the endless ranks of dead, the orphans and the widows, but for all their sacrifice, they were betrayed. Their lives were spent so that the United States could claim dominion over the world, and in so doing, forget its duty and purpose to its founding stock. We have come from all corners of this once great land, and believe me when I tell you that this does not appear as a country which has won the great battles of our age. We are a disenfranchised, demoralized, and downtrodden people. Yet while Americans lose touch with their identity as they grow isolated and ignorant to the war being waged against them, the communities under our banner grow strong. We are building a nation within a nation that shall become the nation. And it all starts with the elemental virtues of courage and sacrifice, the very same we are here to remember today.
100 white mass nationalists marched through Kansas City over the weekend and not one arrest was made. And they're not covering it up or hiding it. It's in the local newspaper. No arrest made after a white nationalist group, Patriot Front, march in Kansas City, Missouri. Of course, the video is circulating all over social media. Once again, them jumping out of the U-Haul, best they can do. Of course, the police is escorting these people. You just had the FBI put together a task force to go down to Memphis, Tennessee, clean up neighborhoods. And again, I ask the same questions. Where is the outrage when it comes to hate crimes? Why isn't a task force pursuing these people? They have a whole name out here. Patriotic Front. That's their name. Members of the Patriotic Front rallied at the Liberty Memorial in Kansas City on Saturday. Pictures show the group with masks on, carrying various signs and shields. Who have turned the United States flag upside down. Others were carrying Confederate flags. And again, these people did not sneak in quietly. They started from the Liberty Memorial, going all the way down to the crossroads, chanting, "Reclaim America." Reclaim it from who? From the very people who built this country, who built this culture? National WWI Museum issued the following statement on Sunday. The National WWI Museum in Memorial is aware of yesterday's gathering on the public grounds surrounding our institution. We respect First Amendment protections for peaceful assembly and free speech and want to be unequivocally clear that the views expressed by this group do not represent or align with our values. We stand firm against hated bigotry, divisiveness in all forms. Mayor Quinton Lucas issued a similar statement on Facebook. But my thing is, you don't get to use us when you want to monetize off of us. It's okay for us to come into your environment to buy from you. You guys can sell to us, but protect us in any way when it comes to hate. And we actually need to get together as a people. Remember, this is how they feel about us. We will outnumber hate with unity. Our voices will be heard. Youth will be protected. How is this allowed?
Right. Hey, get shields over here! Why do you need shields? I'm just checking their face, or are you too embarrassed? So let me help you go with your friends. That's what friends? I'm here alone, you pussy. No, we're just trying to get out of here. Please don't return.
Sir, you want my name?
Yeah, what's your name, bud?
Thomas Ryan Rousseau.
Thanks, Thomas. I bet you're trying to get famous with Trump for this.
What?
You gonna run for office now?
What?
You gonna run for office now?
Maybe.
Are you from here?
Texas.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
I thought I was tripping, but I'm not. I know exactly who that is. Thomas Rousseau. That's my neighbor. I've seen this man a few times. Matter of fact, a few years ago, we got this in the mail. I live in Texas. It's 2025. We got this in the mail. And I thought I was tripping when I saw the video, but that name and that face, that's him. I've seen this man before, walk past the house. I've actually spoken to this person. Anyways, at least he had his face out. I will say that. He had his face out, and he said his name. He said it with his chest. But again, I knew that name. I knew that face. I've seen this person before, and this was sent to our house. Our home that we own. Because I heard they was renting. I'm just saying.
Yesterday, this fine group of Americans marched down the Kansas City streets without any opposition, without any contest, without any protest of their very existence and the audacity to feel that this is okay in modern day America. And inside their rhetoric, they also were donning flags from World War II Germany, that of which our administration alleges to be against, which is anti-Semitic. You saw upside down American flags, which our administration alleges to be against things that are unpatriotic. And you saw the Confederate rebel flag, by which this administration alleges to be against division and hatred, which is symbolic. It's funny, I can never find the not all white people crowd when these people are walking around masked up. Now I wonder why that is. Because had this been a black person in a community by which people didn't think they belonged, they would have something to say. had this been a foreigner who's bilingual, speaking in their first language, they would have something to say. Had this been black people peacefully protesting against another unjust murder, people would have something to say. These people march freely, without resistance, without opposition, without protest. Never mind their freedom of speech. My issue with this group is when they're done with their cosplaying Klansmen, they're going to unmask and go back to their normal lives as nurses, waiters, jurors, cops, mailmen, teachers. You think people who would never want to be confused as them would be upset by this. My question to you is, if it's not all white people, but yet this group could walk without any protest, Donald Trump is president, the party which voted against vetting white supremacy out of law enforcement and military is running our country. If it's not all white people and all of this is going on, what would be the difference if it was? Today, Memorial Day, we'll be paying our respect to the men and women who gave their lives fighting for this country, fighting against World War II Germany, fighting against the Confederacy, fighting against extremism across the country, all which were represented by these people marching on American soil yesterday without any opposition for the lives they gave their lives fighting for. Enjoy your barbecue.
So apparently, a group of coward, I won't even call them men because your real men would not be doing such a thing, right? So we have a group of white nationalists who call themselves the Patriot Front. These white supremacists are feeling way too comfortable walking down the streets with their Confederate flags, with the hate speech, thinking that it is okay. And of course, police are not going to do anything. They're not being questioned. And since the police don't see anything wrong with it, and they're not doing anything because there's nothing wrong with it, we have to be ready. You know what I'm saying? We have to do what the people in Lincoln Heights did, right? Because wasn't it in February that the white supremacists marched over the bridge and, with the Confederate flags, talking a lot of nonsense in Ohio? And this group called Lincoln Heights Safety and Watch Program was created. At the end of the day, that's what we're going to do, okay? We need together it doesn't have to be all black, anybody that stands for what's right. Just like the men in the video that questioned one of some of the guys. I'll share the video so you guys can see. We need together and create a group where we show them this is not going to be allowed. I don't care who they think is in the office giving them the ammunition. This shit ain't going to fly. So we need all our strong men and women together and start taking action, especially when we know that this kind of march is going to be happening. If police are not going to do anything, now it's time for us to be ready and prepared. As far as I'm concerned. Watch this video and tell me what you think.
You're not going to invade our men's privacy.
Your privacy? You're in public, bro. Why do you need to be private? I thought you'd be proud of your opinion. Why you gotta cover everything? Should you be proud of what you preach? I want to shave that nose there, bud. That's embarrassing.
Hey, come on. We're each other.
Let's get a little teamwork here, boys. What the fuck's going on? Where's the fucking shields at?
Let's go.
Anybody want to share their name? Anybody want to share their face? Or are you too embarrassed? What friends? I'm here alone, you pussy.
No, we're just trying to make sure that our guys get home safe.
I bet you are. Cool. So because you're not welcome here.
You can go over there.
I didn't call the property.
You can go over there.
No, we're doing it for your benefit. For my benefit? Because I'm a white male?
Whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
If you were anybody...
Say it out loud.
Yeah, so just go on. Get out of here.
Where?
Get out of
This
here.
is public. You get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome here.
What do you think we're doing?
Good. Get the fuck out.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is... Please. Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Sam. What's your last name?
My name is Happy Memorial Day.
Hey, have a good one, guys. Thanks for getting the fuck out of here. Please don't return.
Sir, you got me on my name?
Yeah, what's your name, bud?
Thomas Ryan Rousseau.
Thanks, Thomas. I bet you're trying to get famous with Trump for this.
What?
You gonna run for office now?
What?
You gonna run for office now? Are you from here? Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Did you see this video out of Kansas City, Missouri, where white nationalists, Patriot Front, are marching down the street and they are confronted by local residents? Listen to this.
You're not going to invade our men's privacy.
Privacy? You're in public, bro. Why do you need to be private to I thought you'd be proud of your opinion. Why is that private? Hey, have a good one, guys. Thanks for getting the fuck out of here. Please don't return.
Sir, you want my name?
Yeah, what's your name, bud?
Thomas Ryan Rousseau.
Thanks, Thomas. I bet you're trying to get famous with Trump for this.
What?
You gonna run for office now?
What?
You gonna run for office now? Are you from here?
All right, cool.
Get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
I got people from the whole country here.
That's how many it takes to get a couple hundred? The whole country. I don't see anything. That's embarrassing. Hey, have fun in that hot box, guys.
First of all, thank you to the people of Kansas City who stood up to this. Because the police didn't do anything, they saw this and made no stops and no arrests. Now, this was all led by the guy you saw in the video, Thomas Rousseau. He gave a speech in front of the World War I Museum where he talked about how the United States is a white nation made for white people and they need to reclaim America. And these people are serious, especially under this administration. Those people have a training center in Tennessee. They train people on how to use weapons and hand-to-hand combat. That's how he was able to get 100 people from across the country. These are all people who wholeheartedly believe in the white supremacist ideology, and they're getting ready to take it further, especially under this administration. And as always, please consider supporting me on here so I can continue bringing you these news stories.
Here's something that's really quite simple. Imagine a bunch of black or brown people covering their face and their eyes with sunglasses, walking around with the same kind of uniforms with a bunch of flags, saying a bunch of hateful words. How quickly do you think the cops would be called? And why was that not the same response given in Kansas City or any other time that these idiots walk the streets in their khakis and their blue shirts? Could there be a problem in this country? There it is. Yeah, now we agree, right? Weird.
Did you see the videos of the white supremacists marching through Kansas City on the 24th? Going into the U-Haul trucks? Are we going to talk about what this says? Are we going to talk about how disturbing this is? And how this is not okay? How they all have their faces covered so you don't see who they are? About the new America? And what's going on? And what's happening to our country? Something needs to be done. There's a call for a boycott for U-Haul. First of all, you cannot be in the back of a U-Haul truck like that. It's against the rules. So there's that. And this is the second time that U-Haul trucks have been used to transport these type of events. So there's that as well. Something should be done. Just saying. It's not okay. And the white supremacist groups, they're no better than the other ones in the past. It needs to stop. What's happening and the racism in this country and the fact that we're encouraging it is not good. It feels like we're moving backwards. Don't come at me with the hate. I'm not here for it. I'm just saying it like I feel it. And I'm concerned for my kids and my grandkids. But did you see the videos, y'all? They're out there if you haven't seen them. Look it up. Bring it to the kitchen table. The light's on in the kitchen. Let's talk.
It's so crazy, guys, that this actually happened. And the saddest part is about that these same people that are actually hiding under these masks, maybe your friends, your neighbors, people that you actually share a meal with, because if they know, like, they have no reasons, or they are not afraid of what they are doing, or they're not just, people that are sitting there and then backstab you, why are they hiding their faces under these masks? When I saw this, I was really surprised, because this would not even happen if this was like the Black community marching like this. If this was the Black community or Native Americans marching like this and trying to reclaim what was theirs and what white people actually took away from them, the case would have been different. There would have been multiple people that would have been arrested as at now. How many days so far? No one has been arrested yet. And this company that they actually used these trucks went on ahead and said that they do not promote hate and all these. They rented their trucks out to these people. They only came out to explain and defend themselves because people are actually calling them out and people are actually planning to boycott them. And now I actually understand when melanated people are always like telling you that these people are not your friends, because why was there no one actually there standing against these people? Why were there no police officers out there standing against these people? They were given the right to do what they did, because when you're silent about something, it's just like you are actually supporting it. The police were silent about this. I know that some even police officers, they have their family members that were actually part of this group. They knew that this was gonna happen. They didn't priorly notify the Kansas State Police or the city police that they actually be coming to protest or anything of the sort. They just showed up. And this is crazy, because them just showing up, who knows what they're going to be planning next time. These people, they just showed up, like a huge number, a big group of men. They showed up in Kansas City, downtown, and the police department didn't know anything about this. You see, this is very dangerous if people can just plan, because there were no flyers, there was nothing. People didn't expect this was gonna be happening. It's just like they abolished these people, like they didn't have an idea. It's crazy, because each and every single day I'm seeing crazy things happening in the United States of America. And after the new administration, most people feel like they have the right to openly show their hate out there, to show how racist they are out there. I've been seeing crazy things happening, and I'm even asking myself, why would this be happening in 2025? Why would people that always care and talk about protecting humans' rights, protecting humanity, allow things that are happening in the United States of America to happen as what is happening to date? So I'm getting to understand that this group, the Patriot Front, is a hate group, and people have been knowing that it's been existing. Police have been doing, like law enforcement have been knowing that this group do exist. Identified by organizations like the Southern Poverty Law Center, they are known for promoting a rebranded version of white supremacy, coded languages, flags, and militaristic marches. They emerged after the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. And when I went on ahead and looked what happened on that day, this rally took place back in August 11th and 12th, 2017 in Charlottesville, Virginia, organized by the same group, white supremacist groups. The rally aimed to oppose the removal of Confederate statue and to unify various far-right actions. It became one of the most violent and widely condemned white nationalist events in the recent U.S. history. After what happened in 2017, they still allowed these people to be out there on the streets. No arrests were made. No police officers that were actually there to ask them to go home or leave, or arrest the people that actually organized this. And when people want to come here and, say that racism does not exist in the United States of America, you tend to leave such things that are actually still happening to date. So this rally that happened in August 11th, it began in the evening with a torch-lit march through the University of Virginia campus, where participants chanted racist and anti-Semitic slogans. The following day, August 12th, the situation escalated as clashes broke out between rally attendees and counter-protesters. Tragically, a white supremacist drove his car into a crowd of counter-protesters and unalived Heather Hay and injured 35 others. Like, it's crazy that this happened. You know, when we talk about, or the reason as to why people always keep on, like, why can't Black Americans move on? Why can't people move on from, slavery and all that? You always want us to talk of the same history. Because when you forget about history, there is a possibility that it might repeat itself. And this is what's happening, because this group did this in 2017. Nothing was done to them. And they still came back on the streets unannounced. They were marching out there on the streets unannounced. And the police did nothing about this. The law enforcement did nothing about this. Yeah, you see, these people, they didn't even announce that this was happening. People didn't know that this was actually gonna take place. And this is how a huge number of white supremacists and this is how a huge number of Caucasian people will be recruited to this same hate and racism, just to intimidate other demographics in the United States of America, or people that actually don't have the same beliefs as them. And it's so sad that this year, after the election, there is a lot that has been happening. And the most hurting part about this is that some of these politicians are actually allowing this to happen. They are giving these people the go-ahead to act and behave as they are, because from them, they are showing how racist they are. Some of these people are actually doing these things following as to what their politicians are actually doing, because they have so much hate in them. And it's crazy that it's 2025 and this is still happening in the United States of America. Like, these people just showed up. The police did nothing about that. And if this was the case, if these were like Black Americans marching out there, asking for reparations, reclaiming for what their ancestors should have gotten, it would have been a different case. It's so sad that a day that is supposed to be a remembrance day for those US military soldiers that lost their lives in service of the country, they just turned this to chaos. They just turned this to hatred. They just turned this to racism. And I don't even know how this was allowed to happen. And I was surprised because I didn't see this. I just came across this video when I was just scrolling on TikTok. And now it's been how many days? No arrests have been made yet. From 26th till today. Today is 4th. So those are like 9 days and no arrest has been made. It's just crazy, guys. And this is why people, you just need to be careful out there. You just need to be on the lookout, because it seems like things are getting more crazier day by day. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.